You are about to learn something most people never realize in their entire life. In this video, you will discover why manipulators study your emotions, why some people seem to control conversations without effort, and most importantly, the hidden psychological signals that tell them you are emotionally exposed. By the end of this video, you will understand 7 powerful rules that protect your emotional power. But here is the uncomfortable truth. Manipulators do not search for weak people. They search for emotionally open people. People who show too much too quickly. People who reveal their fears. People who reveal their loneliness. And once someone understands your emotional blueprint, they can quietly control how you react. But most people never see this happening. They only feel confused. They feel drained. They feel manipulated. And they cannot explain why. So in this video, we will break down the psychology behind emotional exposure, and more importantly, how to stop giving manipulators the emotional access they want. But before we talk about protection, you need to understand something disturbing. Most manipulators do not start with control. They start with observation. The first thing manipulators study. Manipulators rarely attack immediately. First, they watch. They observe how you react to small emotional triggers. For example, they may disagree with you, not aggressively, just slightly. Then they watch your reaction. Do you become defensive? Do you start explaining yourself too much? Do you rush to prove that you are right? That reaction tells them something important. It tells them you care deeply about validation, and once they know that, they can control conversations simply by questioning you. Another test they use is emotional sympathy. They might tell you a sad story, something about betrayal, loneliness, or unfair treatment. Then they watch closely. Do you immediately try to comfort them? Do you reveal your own emotional struggles? Do you start sharing personal experiences? If you do, they learn something powerful. They learn that you open emotionally very quickly. And for manipulators, that is valuable information, because emotional openness can be used like a map that shows exactly where your fears live, where your insecurities hide, and where your emotional triggers exist. But this is only the first level, because the next tactic manipulators use is far more subtle, and most people fall into it without realizing. But before we talk about that, you need to understand the second signal manipulators search for, and once you see it, you will start noticing it everywhere.
The 7 emotional signals manipulators detect. Now that you understand how manipulators watch from the shadows, it's time to get specific. Here are 7 emotional signals you unconsciously give away and why they matter. Signal 1. Over-explanation. You feel the urge to justify yourself constantly. Even small opinions become mini defenses. Manipulators see this as a need for approval. They know exactly how to push your buttons. And here's the kicker. Most people never stop to notice. Signal 2. Immediate sympathy. You instantly comfort or agree with someone's pain. You share your own struggles too quickly. This reveals that your emotional walls are low. Manipulators treat this like a doorway. Once open, they can subtly steer you. Ask yourself, do you comfort too fast? Signal 3. People-pleasing patterns. You say yes before thinking. You agree even when uncomfortable. Manipulators measure your boundaries like a ruler. Every concession gives them more leverage. The more you give, the more they take, silently. Signal 4. Fear of rejection. Even mild criticism hurts like a blow. You become anxious, defensive, or self-critical. Manipulators notice this immediately because fear can be used. Fear can be controlled. And the worst part? Most of us never realize we show it. Signal 5. Excessive sharing. You reveal private thoughts too soon. You explain decisions, emotions, past mistakes. Manipulators collect this information like clues. They build an emotional map that you don't even know exists. Every story you tell gives them a key. Signal 6. Inconsistent boundaries. Sometimes you say no, sometimes yes. Your limits wobble depending on the person or situation. Manipulators watch this like a game. They know exactly when to push and when to pull, and that unpredictability works against you more than you think. Signal 7. Overthinking reactions. You replay conversations in your head. You analyze what people said, what they meant. Manipulators see this as mental predictability. They know that if they drop a subtle hint or nudge, you'll respond exactly how they want, and that is dangerous for your emotional autonomy.
Here's the uncomfortable truth. These signals are natural. They are the result of survival strategies you developed as a child. Maybe you were ignored. Maybe you were judged. Maybe your feelings were dismissed. You adapted. You learned to survive by being emotionally open yet careful. But manipulators exploit it. And this is where curiosity hits, because these same survival strategies, when recognized, can be flipped into protection. Once you see the signals, you can control what they see, and manipulators lose their advantage. In the next section, we will uncover the hidden tactics manipulators use to weaponize these signals. These are subtle moves you encounter every day without realizing it, and understanding them is the key to emotional freedom.
The dark manipulation tactics. Now we dive into the moves manipulators use, often without you realizing. These tactics are subtle, powerful, and designed to keep you off balance. Tactic 1. Gaslighting. They make you doubt your memory, perception, or reality. A small lie here, a denial there. Soon you question yourself more than them. And here's the hidden trick. It works best when you care about their opinion. Tactic 2. Emotional baiting. A compliment, a sad story, or a subtle guilt trip. You respond emotionally before your brain catches up. Manipulators measure your reaction like a scientist. Your emotional energy becomes their playground. Do you notice how quickly you react before thinking?
Tactic 3. Silent treatment. Not just ignoring, it's strategic withdrawal. They create tension and make you chase approval. Every second of silence is a test. Your instinct is to fix it, but that's exactly the reaction they want. Tactic 4. Divide and conquer. They subtly pit friends, family, or colleagues against each other. A small rumor, a misheard comment, a hidden implication. Manipulators thrive in confusion. They make you feel isolated while appearing harmless. Ever felt drained after talking to someone without knowing why? Tactic 5. Triangulation. They compare you to others to manipulate your emotions. You should be more like X, or Y understands me better. It triggers self-doubt instantly. Your mind starts overanalyzing every interaction, and manipulators watch silently, taking notes. Tactic 6. Feigning vulnerability. They show weakness, but only strategically. You let your guard down because you empathize. Suddenly, they've taken your emotional map, and they hold the advantage. It's a trap disguised as connection. Tactic 7. Subtle threats. Not always obvious. A tone, a sigh, a joke that cuts deep. It reminds you they hold power, and you feel it without words. Your body tightens. Your decisions shift. Manipulators count on your body telling the truth before your mind does. Here's the uncomfortable truth. These tactics aren't always conscious. Manipulators often act out patterns learned in childhood, just like you. But knowing them is your first step toward reclaiming control. And curiosity drives the next step, because in the next section, you'll learn exactly how to neutralize each tactic. You'll turn the power back to yourself, and manipulators lose influence without you having to fight. How to reclaim your emotional power. Now it's time to turn the tables. You have seen the tactics. Now you take control. Rule 1. Awareness first. Notice patterns immediately. Ask yourself, what am I feeling? Why? Step back. Watch yourself without judgment. Awareness alone weakens manipulation. Even 30 seconds of pause can change the entire interaction. Rule 2. Emotional boundaries. Decide what you will allow. Say no internally before you speak it. Remember, your emotions are yours, not theirs. Manipulators prey on blurred boundaries. Clear limits protect your energy. Rule 3. The pause technique. Never react instantly. Count to 5, 10, or even 20. Every delayed response gives you back control. They hate waiting, and that's your advantage.
Rule 4. Journaling emotional responses. Write down triggers, reactions, and patterns. Number 1 reason manipulators succeed? You forget. Your notes become a map of your emotional terrain. Review daily. Adjust responses consciously. Rule 5. Inner child reparenting. Talk to the scared, insecure part of yourself. Offer validation they never gave. It heals wounds that manipulators exploit. Even 5 minutes a day changes your nervous system.
Rule 6. Shadow work. Identify your blind spots: pride, envy, fear. Manipulators exploit these automatically. Face them head on. The more you know yourself, the less they can control you. Rule 7. Nervous system regulation. Deep breathing, grounding, micro-meditations. Your body reacts before your mind. Calm your system, and manipulation loses its grip. Even a single deep breath resets your response.
Rule 8. Strategic detachment. Not everyone deserves explanation or defense. Step back, observe, engage selectively. Detachment is not coldness, it's clarity. Your energy becomes scarce. Manipulators cannot thrive. Rule 9. Counting wins. Every boundary you maintain, every emotional pause, every insight is a win. Celebrate small victories. They build a shield stronger than any argument.
Rule 10. Daily practice. This isn't one time. Daily micro steps create macro change. You build resilience muscle by muscle, moment by moment. Here's the curiosity kicker. Even after mastering all these, manipulators will still test you. The next section reveals how to spot the next level of manipulation before it even begins, giving you emotional foresight most people never have. Mastery and long-term freedom. You have learned the tactics, the pauses, the boundaries. Now it's time to own your power fully. Principle 1. Integration of awareness. Every trigger you notice becomes a lesson. Every reaction paused is a victory. Awareness is not a tool, it's your identity now. Principle 2. Emotional resilience. You will still face manipulative people. The difference? You respond, not react. Your nervous system no longer runs the show. Principle 3. Choosing softness over survival mode. Being strong doesn't mean being harsh. You can stay firm, yet gentle. Manipulators cannot penetrate calm, consistent inner peace. Principle 4. Continuous shadow work. Revisit blind spots regularly. They evolve, so must your defenses. Knowing your shadow keeps manipulation from finding cracks. Principle 5. Inner child healing. Keep talking to that part of you that was hurt. Validation, love, safety, daily. Even 5 minutes a day rewrites old scripts in your nervous system.
Principle 6. Community and allies. Align with people who respect boundaries. Your energy is finite. Protect it. Supportive connections amplify your emotional power. Principle 7. Reflection and journaling. Daily review. What worked? What did not? Track victories. Note lessons. Journaling is like emotional GPS. It prevents getting lost.
Principle 8. Philosophical anchor. Remember Carl Jung. One does not become enlightened by imagining figures of light, but by making the darkness conscious. Every confrontation, every test strengthens your consciousness. Principle 9. The long game. Manipulators will always exist, but your emotional armor, built daily, makes their attacks ineffective. Power comes from consistency, not perfection. Principle 10. Closing affirmation. You are not broken. You are not weak. You are learning to wield emotional power with grace and clarity. The goal is not to be fixed, it's to become whole. And one final thought. The next time someone tries to test your boundaries, you'll already be 10 steps ahead, and they won't even realize it. That's the quiet power of mastery. Share this knowledge. Subscribe for more insights. Your emotional freedom is contagious.